I'm going to speak to Joanna Bell now. Joanna, very good morning to you.
Good morning, Mike. How are you today?
I'm very well.
To see you.
Have you ever ripped out some damp in your wall and dried it with a hairdryer?
No, I haven't actually. But if I did, I don't think I'd be. I think I'd be getting professional help. I think that Keir Starmer's analogies leave a lot to be desired.
They really do. And one of our very eagle-eyed viewers spotted the fact that he's got a mug at that cabinet table with his name on it.
I mean, look, he's very funny. You can tell he practices in the mirror, you know, with his hairbrush. But I mean, are these really? He's sat beside David Lammy. Are these really the right people to have in your cabinet? Does anybody feel a sense of safety knowing that these are the people running the country?
Well, this is the trouble. I mean, until last Friday, when Angela Rayner resigned, basically, he didn't want to change the cabinet. There was talk of a sort of a mini reshuffle coming this week, but suddenly all guns blazing, he starts sacking people right, left and centre, some of whom are now running to become the new leader, deputy leader of the party, who are going to cause him all sorts of trouble.
Well, that's the thing, you know, it's a shambles, it's shambolic, and the very people he should have got rid of, Ed Miliband, Rachel Reeves, he's kept them in situ, and that's the scariest part, because they probably are costing the economy so much money that, you know, they're the very ones that need to be removed, and he hasn't done any of that.
Well, apparently tried to remove Ed Miliband, and Ed Miliband refused to go. And so he just stayed where he was. And Rachel Reeves the same. You know, she's had the gall in Times this morning to be saying to her various different departments of state, you need to live within your means. Well, maybe she should try a bit of that.
Oh, the irony of it all. I mean, she's literally almost bankrupt the country. The people are, you know, going to the job centre in their droves because employers can't afford to keep them on, because she's hiked up tax, she's hiked up national insurance, she's hiked up business rates. I mean, never before has the welfare bill been so high. And we have to leave the blame squarely at her door for that. So the irony of her telling us we need to live within our means, it's shocking that she said that, because she is the very one that is bankrupting this country. Yeah. They're putting asylum seekers in luxury hotels and paying for them. And now, because they've been put on the military camps, the asylum seekers are suing the government. And
how is it possible for them to even do that? It's insane, isn't it?
Well, that expression, no good deed goes unpunished, you know, comes into play here. And, you know, it's obviously Keir Starmer's friends, his human rights lawyers, who are probably the ones that are representing these people and getting the legal aid. Lord Hermer, all of these people are probably, you know, laughing all the way to the bank.
Oh, laughing. They'll be putting in their bill for services rendered to the taxpayer. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you very much indeed. Meanwhile, what about Peter Mandelson? He's all over the front pages this morning as well. A very revealing photograph of him sitting in a bathrobe talking to Jeffrey Epstein on his private island in 2002, when presumably Mandelson was in the Blair government.
It stinks. I mean, it's highly embarrassing for him. He has to resign, because this whole thing is just absolutely, it just looks so bad. I mean, I think you said earlier on the show that this is after he knew that Epstein was a paedophile.
That's right.
So, I mean, this is really bad, because I know that Sarah Ferguson, I think she took a loan off him of 15 grand after she knew that he was a convicted paedophile.
Yes.
So where is the judgment of these people? You know, they have no qualms about taking the hospitality off a paedophile. So you have to wonder what the benefit to them is, and why he went out there. I would like to hear a statement from Mandelson to find out. And also, the big question is why did Keir knew all this before he sent him out to Washington? So why did Keir send him out there knowing that he had relations?
Well, this is the thing, and knowing as well that he was still friends with Epstein even after he knew that he was a sex offender, so much so that he even stayed in his apartment when Epstein was actually in prison for trying to solicit a minor for sex.
Oh my God.
You know, there's no way he can get out of this, basically.
Well, you know, stranger things have happened, but he definitely needs to resign. But also, we knew all this, didn't we? We knew this before he was appointed as the British ambassador to America. So why exactly was he put in that role? I think Keir Starmer needs to answer that question.
Yes. And also, 1 week ahead of Donald Trump's state visit to this country, Starmer finds himself once again in a bind, because if he punishes Peter Mandelson for his friendship with Epstein, you know, how does that react then to other people whose names are on lists? What will Donald Trump make of that? Will he see it as some kind of an attack on his friendship with Epstein? You know, it's all a massive mess, isn't it? Once again, Starmer has chosen the wrong man for the wrong job and shown that he's got no judgment.
Well, he can't, because if he condemns Mandelson or ousts Mandelson, then he will be, you know, have to condemn Donald Trump, and he's not going to do that, is he? You know, he's shown himself to, you know, kowtow to Donald Trump. So it's going to be a situation where it's probably just going to be swept under the carpet, and you know, it'll be a new story next week, because he really can't say anything to Mandelson. You know, there's nothing that you can say.
Well, of course, you've got Epstein's former housekeeper said to the Telegraph in the paper this morning, photos were taken in 2002. This is the one of him in the bathrobe, right, when the Labour peers stayed on the island for almost a week. Epstein's abuse of underage girls was well underway by that time. Sarah Ransom, one of his victims, said something is really, really wrong here. Peter Mandelson should not be ambassador. He needs to be fired. Everybody knew about Mandelson's close friendship with Epstein. You know, he calls him his best pal.
Wow. I mean, I don't know about you, but it makes me feel sick to my stomach.
It's pretty horrible, isn't it?
Even just seeing those pictures, you think, oh my goodness, like how are these people in positions of power? I mean, I think wasn't Mandelson, wasn't he called the Prince of Darkness?
He was. And
he
also had to resign from the government twice, usually due to financial, shall we say, misconduct, to be polite.
Well, let's hope it's a hat trick. Let's hope he resigns. But then who are they going to put in his place? It'll probably be some other person tainted by, you know, sleaze. Again, it's just sleaze, isn't it? So, I mean, I don't think he's going to resign. I don't think they're going to rock the boat. But I think it's very embarrassing for Mandelson, and I would like to hear an explanation about why he was hanging around with a convicted paedophile. Yeah,
but it needs a bit of an explanation with Keir Starmer as well, it seems to me.
Well, exactly. He knew all this, so that's the point. Where is Keir Starmer? Mandelson obviously knows where the bodies are buried. You know, because why did Keir put him in that position, knowing what what he'd done in the past? And you know, these pictures look pretty compromising for him.
Piece in the Mail today, a big spread about how the left ladies are lining up to come for Keir Starmer, and the 6 who are challenging to be deputy leader of the Labour Party, over which, again, Keir Starmer has no control, right? He's trying to make out that he wants Bridget Phillipson in there, but other people think Emily Thornberry might get it, or very possibly Lucy Powell, who looks like she's quite popular with the people that don't like him. And they've all got an axe to grind against him, right? And Dan Hodges has written a piece, Control Freak Prime Minister fears he can't trust his own party, and he's right. On the eve of the general election, Keir Starmer said to the country, I've changed the Labour Party and put it back in the service of working people, and now I want to change Britain to make it work once again for you and your family. How's that going?
Oh, that's ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, actually, you know, I just think, look, she's probably the best of a bad bunch, Mike. What do you think? I mean, if you...
Who? Phillipson?
Well, I mean, who else is there? Are you going to go for Emily Thornberry?
I think the funniest choice would be Emily Thornberry. I think that'd be hilarious. So for my journalistic principles, I would like to see Emily Thornberry get it. The rest of them, I couldn't care less. They're all pretty nasty, ghastly people.
On a personal level, I like Emily Thornberry. However, you know, she's so pro-Palestine. Her whole...
Oh, no, she's a dreadful woman. She's dreadful. I just think it'd be funny if she got it, though.
She's actually great at the dispatch box. I think that she's a really great... debater, but, you know, at the end of the day...
terrible snob and champagne socialist.
Well, that's it. Well, her name is Lady Nugie, don't you know?
That's it. Absolutely right. Shocking state of affairs. Anyway, listen, Joe, good to talk to you. Thanks very much indeed. Joanna Bell, we're going to run.